that back. No. I guess.
All right. Hey, we are recording now. Welcome to our Fuse Daily Devo Student Edition. It is Friday, and so Brad here, and I've got student Henry Filipek joining me to talk a little bit about the Devo. Henry, you want to say hello?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Brad.
Hey, what's up, man? Henry, if you want to just introduce yourself real quick, grade, school, things you like to do in your free time.
Well, I'm Henry. I'm a junior, and I go to Francis High School. Go Vikings. Yeah. Well, I was starting tennis this spring. Well, that kind of got canceled. So I've been wanting to get it more into running. But that hasn't happened yet. So I might do that later today. But yeah, just doing homework, doing everything I can.
Yeah. So what has what's the quarantine life been like for you?
Well, it's been a lot different than I thought. When they canceled school, I was just like, we don't have school for a month. But then teachers started like giving assignments, and so it kind of looks like school. That's what it looks like. School, and not hanging out with people.
Yeah, school, like all the work that comes with school minus the social like hangouts and the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Much. Yeah. What's been I don't know, has there been anything that you've enjoyed about the quarantine?
Just like the freedom, I guess, because I'm not condensed or not constrained to the 9 or that specific hours of the school day, so I can just be more relaxed with that and not hang out with people. I've gone on a few hikes with people, but socially distanced hikes.
Yes, you've maintained your distance.
Just want to clarify.
and I hear the McGuiges are being blessed by your presence.
Oh, yes. We consider them family now, so they're not a part of the whole social distance thing.
Yeah, they count. Cool. Yeah. Hey, Henry, you are involved with an organization called Breakdown. Can you just tell us a little bit about what does Breakdown do, and what has that community been like for you during this kind of quarantine time?
So Breakdown, it's an organization made up of mainly high school students. It's like a leadership team, and so what we do is we go into public schools or private schools and put on like a message or we address the risky behaviors that a lot of teens go through. So like drugs, alcohol, sex, suicide, self-harm, all those types of like messages, those topics, and we address those in like a multimedia type presentation. So there's like drama, singing, dancing, there's some spoken word. It's pretty cool. The community is super cool on the team, and it's also cool to share that message. And ultimately we get to share the gospel and how we do that. So it's pretty cool. It's definitely grown me a lot as a Christ follower, and as a teen. I've learned a lot through that. I've only been in it this year, and I feel like I've grown a lot, like exponentially. I've also gained a lot of friends because the team is super close and the community is really cool.
Cool. What has it been like for you, just still being part of that team kind of during this season? Yeah. It's not like you guys are able to go into schools and do the presentations that you normally do.
So Breakdown, we've kind of, with all the quarantine stuff, we can't do what we usually do. Like you said, we can't do the presentations. We actually had a few this month that got canceled. I was really bummed. We were supposed to go to Francis House Central.
Hey,
really looking forward to that, but it got canceled. But so what's cool, Breakdown has been really intentional to continue the community part and just like building into each other. So we've had a lot of Zoom calls. It's been cool. We had like a huge Zoom call. We have one every week, so there's like 50 people on there. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So the rehearsals, we do have a rehearsal every Sunday. So those haven't really changed a lot. We've done a lot of like team time, or which is like kind of like where there's like a lesson, and then we all discuss that. So it's been pretty cool, and in that way. But definitely bummed that we can't see each other, because it's definitely it's like a very touchy group where everyone like hugs each other a lot and is like really hands on, and that can't happen. So it's definitely weird with that. Everyone's like, I just want to hug you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's been cool. Over the years, we've had so many students from Calvary serve with Breakdown. And so I'm just really proud of y'all for what you're doing, using your free time to help other people, to serve other people. And one of the things I really appreciate about Breakdown is that it's like student led, right? Like, so the teams, the drama teams, the dance, like they're all students. And I think there's power when it comes to that, when it comes to students, peers, bringing a message of hope and redemption to people who are in similar situations to them. And so cool.
Yeah. Real quick, Breakdown is auditioning virtually this April. So if you guys are interested in that, which I recommend it to everyone, pursue that for sure. You won't regret it.
Cool. All right, Henry. Today's devotional comes from Matthew chapter 28, verse 6. I'm going to read just kind of the verses surrounding it, and then we'll chat about it for a couple minutes, and then we'll sign off. So,
all right.
So Matthew 28, verse 1 starts, "Now after the Sabbath, toward the dawn of the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to see the tomb." So this is after Jesus had died. They went to go see the tomb. "And behold, there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone and sat on it. His appearance was like lightning, his clothes white as snow. And for fear of him, the guards trembled and became like dead men. But the angel said to the women, 'Do not be afraid, for I know that you seek Jesus who was crucified. He is not here, for he has risen. And he said, Come see the place where he lay. Then go quickly and tell the disciples that he is risen from the dead, and behold, he is going before you to Galilee, and there you will see him.'" So that's the situation. Jesus has just risen from the dead. The women, they went to find him, see him, and he was gone. But they encountered an angel who gave them some instructions and gave them a message. So, Henry, just at first glance, like, what sticks out to you? You know, what are you thinking?
Yeah. So when I read it, it was actually after a few times reading it, because it was like one verse. I'm like, there's got to be something good in this. So I read it a few times, and what stood out to me was it says, like in my version, which is ESV, it says, "He is not here, for he has risen," and then it says, "as he said." So it was like it was really cool to see that, because what he did is he made a promise. He said, "I'm going to come back," and he fulfilled that promise. And I think that's really cool, and it applies to us today, in the fact that what God says, even if it's big or small, whatever size it is, he'll still follow through with that, and he's faithful to his promises.
And that's so good. Like, that's just something that I think that as Christians, it's easy for us to say we believe the promises or the things that Jesus has said will happen, or even read the Bible, and we read about different events that might take place. And then it's easy to just kind of go ahead and live our lives as we plan to, right? Like these ladies, they didn't go there to the tomb to see if Jesus had risen from the dead. They went to the tomb fully expecting to find him like embalmed so that they could prepare and treat his body. And so, like, I don't know, that's an encouragement for me this morning, is to believe that Jesus is going to do the things that he has said that he's going to do. Right?
Yeah. And I think it, like, a lot of times us as believers, we like discount the power that God has. Like, oh, he'll say he'll do this, but he couldn't do that. That's way too supernatural in this time. But I think like us as believers are called to really hold true to that and not discount that. Like, even like while we're praying, we can pray bold prayers. And I think a lot of times, me included, we just totally discount that power that God has and don't give that to him. Give him the credit for that.
Cool.
And something that I was actually, it was actually at a breakdown rehearsal. We we read Psalms 91, and I was like, and it really stood out to me because it talked about plague. And so it's in Psalm 91, 9 through 10. It says, because you have made the Lord your dwelling place, the Most High, who is my refuge, no evil shall be allowed to befall you, no plague come near your tent. And I think so during that time, like God promises us that he'll take care of us. Like during this time specifically, he promises us that he'll take care of us and that we don't have to worry and have fear like all this virus stuff. And it literally says in verse 10, no evil shall be allowed to befall you, no plague come near your tent. So I think during this time, he's calling us to like peace and have that peace and hold true to that and not doubt the control that he has over this. Because right now we have no control. So we have to trust him.
Yeah, we've got no control. And that's, I don't know, I love that passage there because that you just shared, because like even in this time we're all stuck in our houses. We can't gather as a body. We can't gather with other believers. But if we take him at his word, right, we are the dwelling places, for the Lord, but also it's him that we dwell within as well. And so like, it doesn't mean that we're not going to get sick. That doesn't mean that this thing isn't going to touch people that we care about, because it might. But ultimately, what Jesus shows in Matthew 28 is that he does have power over the natural order of things. And, we can be encouraged in that rather than being, take comfort in the things that we can control or the things that are convenient or the things that are normal. Like, man, we take comfort in the one who was raised from the dead. So cool. Well, Henry, thank you for joining us today for our Fuse Daily Devo Student Edition. So Friday, Fuse Friday, Fuse Student Friday.
There's got to be some name for that.
There's got to be. I'm sure one of these weeks
Fuse Fun Friday or something like that.
Fuse Fun Friday. Cool. All right, Henry. Well, hey, you have a good rest of the day. Hopefully you get all that homework done, and have a good weekend, man.
Yeah. See you later.
All right. See ya.